And welcome into the Edgar Centre in Dunedin. Time for some Rapid League basketball on your Saturday evening. It is round 10, of course, midpoint of the season. And the Otago Nuggets are hosting their South Island foe, the Canterbury Rams. Nick Bewley here with Crystal Ledger-Walker alongside. And I suspect, Crystal, two very evenly matched Rapid League teams. I was actually in the building about a month or so ago when these two teams last met, went to triple overtime. So I think we're in for a good one here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. If we're going anything off how that last one went, we're in for a goodie. Let's take a look at these Rapid League standings and look at the Nuggets sitting there in fourth.
Yeah, 7-4 record. They've won their last three and certainly impressed. They've got a range of talent that has come to the fore. A little bit surprised, I must admit, seeing a lot of Canterbury Rams basketball, to see a very young group sitting there at 8th position at the moment. 4 wins, 7 losses. I suppose they have had to lean a little bit more on the likes of your Jake Holmeses, your Mana Martins in the Cells NBL. And that's seen a bit more responsibility on guys like Brody Cooper and Will Patton starting to emerge. As we take a look at our Mad Butcher Rams starting 5 in the Rapid League. Marco Sula gets a start this evening as well out of St. Bede's College. Mana Martin there, Brody Cooper, Ihaka Cates and young Will Patton is certainly a talent to watch going forward out of Christ College. They do have Jake Holmes there suited. I do wonder though, Crystal, how much he will be used in Rapid, given he's averaging now 20 minutes a game in the NBL.
Yeah, he's really stepped up into that NBL scene and the game he's brought on that level. But you're right, we can't look past Mana Martin and what he brings to the squad. We'd expect him to take the lead today.
Similar too with the Nuggets, they do have Tyson Thata Payasi available here in the Rapid League, but we're starting to see a real upswing in minutes for Tyson in the NBL. So we look at the tail of the tape, courtesy of our friends at Chemist Warehouse, and Tyson Thata Payasi remains one of our spotlight players, provided he gets on the court. But you can see they're pretty evenly matched, scoring, points conceded. Look, I wouldn't read too much into the records of these two teams. As you know, in Rapid League, records on the night mean very little. As we take a look at our match officials, there's Regan Ashley, assisted by Leo Shaw and Dylan Mead.
No, I think we're definitely in for a goodie. Going back to what you started with and the fact that this was a triple overtime game the last time these two teams matched up is something to watch for. And I think both squads will come in with a point to prove, knowing that it got that close the last time they met.
An extra bit of cuteness on your Saturday evening as well. It's our dual ball deliverers. A moment for those two. Making sure they find where they need to be to watch this one and enjoy. Zach McKenzie, Will Patton, tip it up. For 4-minute quarters, Rapid League basketball, of course, Sal's NBL action to come, 7:30 to tip. And it'll be the Rams who open things up here. Brody Cooper getting plenty of run in the Rapid League environment out at Whakapuna Grammar, leaves that one hanging on the rim, and quick transition through Spyler, and somehow manages to get that up and in.
Already we can see the aggressiveness coming into this game to score. Both point guards just taking it straight to the rim.
There's Mana Martin now. Cooper. See plenty of shooting volume out of Brody Cooper here in Rapid League, and that's more like it from downtown.
Brody Cooper's really impressed me this season. The confidence, the swag that he brings, especially to this Rapid League level, is one to watch for.
And certainly I know behind the scenes in the Rams, we've got Tall Blacks International Basketball coming up. Taylor Britt has been named in that Tall Black squad for those games against the Philippines and Guam. The Rams have 2 games during that business end of the season, and they will be looking at someone like a Brody Cooper, perhaps not to start, but to play some meaningful minutes at the point guard position in the NBL. So this is part of the impact that Rapid League can have, meaningful minutes, reps, within a system similar to what the NBL guys are implementing.
And that's just so good as well when you have a coach that trusts your young players to step up into those roles. You know, they don't look at bringing in someone to really replace from the outside. They look at what they've got in-house and make it work.
Nuggets now looking for a response. This is Oak Chisholm now with McKenzie, the lefty. A little bit of contact on the way up, and on the way to the Chemist Warehouse goes Zach McKenzie.
Now, staying on topic of players moving in and out of that starting lineup in the main game, in the Sal's NBL game and between Rapid League, Zach McKenzie's one guy that's kind of gone between. He's had a lot of starts early in this season, now moved back down to this Rapid League to get warm and get going as well.
I like Zach McKenzie. He's a switchable player, and I think he will get a bit of run tonight in the NBL contest as well. Makes them both. Nuggets back in front. Early doors here. Rapid League contest. Martin on the baseline. Sula. Let the ball swing from side to side. Ihaka Kate doesn't shoot a lot of threes. Bobbles around, and it'll stay with the Rams. Yes, it will.
Yeah, great hustle by Sula on that one, just to go for that second chance effort, get the ball back for his squad. The Rams doing a good job of making the Nuggets scramble out of their rotations.
There's Mana Martin. A lot of silky touches in and around the rim. Mana Martin, we talk a lot in commentary games in Christchurch about deceleration being just as important in that 2 feet. And he just knows how to be crafty for such a young player. The other way, more free throws coming here for the Nuggets.
I think that's one of the biggest things we see as an adjustment is, you know, being able to play poised, be patient, be sped up, but still under control.
Caleb Smiler. Gets us back level.
And now the last time these two teams matched up, the Nuggets had Christian Martin, who put 20 on the board. Today I'm looking for someone like Caleb Smiler to step into that scoring role, that leadership role, and really bring it for them offensively. And right on talking about offense.
I was just about to say.
Tyson Tatapaiasi.
Knows how to score, professional shooter already. Tyson Tatapaiasi averaging just under
9 points a game here in Rapid League action. And just stripped there. Chisholm off and racing, coast to coast. Nice transition there, Oak Chisholm.
First buckets for him, and really quick, getting out on the break. We know the Nuggets are locked in defensively with the likes of Jeff Sparrow.
Here is Martin once more, trying to use the glass. Whistle there, referee Regan Ashley. Stay with the Rams. Not sure if it was on the way up. In fact, no, excuse me, it'll be Nuggets ball. That's young Toby Hunt there, centre and screen. He'll be very familiar with many of the Canterbury Rams players. Out of Oamaruva, went to school through Shirley Boys last year, national secondary school champions. Now in a Nuggets uniform. I'm saying off air, Chris, was a little bit of a shame no Millard Newton here tonight for the Rams. It was those two very much at the forefront for Shirley Boys last year. But I'm sure, well, it was like for you, but when you play people you know even more so, or former teammates, you just want to, means a little bit more, right?
Oh, absolutely. You get that, you know, the sense of pride, bragging rights, being able to, you know, be friends afterwards, but still claim that win.
Frenemies.
That's a good way to put it.
The Nuggets out to a 5-point lead. Again, just a bit of patience here required for the Rams to find an opening. It's a nice zone defense here from the Nuggets. There's Martin again. That's great work. Oak Chisholm, for the first time tonight, just locking up Mana Martin.
I like the Nuggets off-ball defense as well, really packing the paint. They were in early and help on the roll, and not many options available off the pick for the Rams.
Silky touch there. Tatapaiasi. Chisholm ends up with it and got a piece. Mana Martin. That'll be 3 from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. And well, they're getting Cologne, they're getting whatever you can buy at the Chemist Warehouse at the moment, Crystal. They're spending some time at the free throw line.
Oh man, they're filling up their whole cart right now. These calls, the Rams struggling to adjust the way the refs are calling this game.
First miss from the Chemist Warehouse strike. They were 6 for 6 to that point. The Rams, conversely, no free throw attempts. We have one more here via Oak Chisholm. So yeah, as you say, Crystal, a slight adjustment required. Quite the intent from the Rams, but just some of those closeouts will just be a little bit tidier.
That, and on the other side, you know, being more aggressive, making the whistle go their way, drawing some fouls out of the Nuggets as well.
There's Cooper, had a strong start. 1 from 2, that three-pointer. Playing a lot through Mana Martin. Averages just under 10 points a game. Leaves that one a little bit short. Hunt with the rebound. A little bit of pressure there on Otago. Pushing the pace. Shot clock goes off late in the first. And now we'll just settle things down. Not to Payasi. On this dance, Mana Martin, and that really caps off a dominant first quarter from the host. The Otago Nuggets head across to their coach, their bench, with a 14-5 lead.
Yeah, have a look at this little hesitation, that head fake, the eye look at the basket, and Tyson Tatsupaese buys himself enough time to burn the D and beat them to the rim. It helps when you have someone like him coming off the bench.
A really good start for the Nuggets. 3 or 4 from the field, as mentioned, a lot of free throws shooting, 8 of 9. Not much doing really on the Rams side, but in terms of something doing tonight for dinner, perhaps $35 large pepperoni pizza with the online code Sal's Basket26, or scan that QR code. No Jake Holmes yet to either, Crystal, we mentioned pre-game, so the Rams may just run with this 5 of Cooper, Sula, Martin, Cates, and Patton. I mean, look at Jake Holmes there, and usually a good sign when the hoodie is still on, that perhaps it will just be these 5 gentlemen tonight.
I mean, we know that they can get going. They have scorers on this squad. It won't take much for them to get hot, but I do think, you know, going against someone like Zach McKenzie, who has that length to contest Mana Martin's jumper, that's tough. You know, can we get some easier buckets? But let's give credit to the Nuggets defense as well.
Got the clamps on so far. The Nuggets, they're smiling out. There's a whistle. Whether they say a genuine attempt, perhaps.
Yeah, that's a bit lucky.
Smiler splits the free throws, double-digit lead. We know things can change on a dime here in Rapid League, but it feels like just to wrestle some momentum back. The Rams desperate need of a full possession. I'm sure an early 3 is quite the strategy at this point in time. Chisholm, though, fires away, shallow with it. The hustle, Tyson, Tata Payasi. And somehow, from Toby Hunt, the tip.
Right, surely he gets that bucket. But those extra possessions on the rim, getting those looks, can the Rams get some of that going their way?
Not the paint touch there that I feel like they needed, the Rams, but just not the roll. Is coming the other way here now is Journey Tipene, and it is all going the way of Otago.
And that's a little bit of home luck as well, you know, playing on your rims, getting that ball up, knowing the angles to use where you're on the floor without even looking.
And the defensive pressure just suffocating at the moment, the Nuggets. And there's a rare miss by Journey Tipene. And the turnover at the other end. Hear him, scare him stuff a little bit for Canterbury. Just need to settle things down. We'll take a look at the replay transition.
Yeah, let's have another look at that crazy trick shot. Journey Tipene falling to the ground and getting it to go.
It's online there from Masapa, so doesn't go. Martin away to the right. It just feels like they're chasing the game already. The Rams is very early in the shot clock. Can understand to a degree, but still time. It's defensively not getting the stops, and Chisholm just goes to work down low.
Yeah, everything falling the way of the Nuggets right now. But let's also keep in mind the Rams are without the likes of Gus Dello, who takes on that point guard role as well, helps with that leadership, and Tawhiri Kate, who went off against the Nuggets the last time they matched up.
Yeah, no Tony Worthington either, who's had an impact in Rapid League. Millen Newton, another, so no excuses here for the Rams as they do finally stop the bleeding. 21 points to 7. Good work initially by Kate, but the follow, Toby Hunt.
Look at this full court press by the Nuggets. The Rams on that possession chose to sit in a 2-3 zone, but you get really vulnerable on that backside with back cuts, as we just saw.
Martin almost loses the handle. Sula away with the 3. There's Hunt now. Nice find in the corner. 3 ball doesn't go. Sula looks to go himself. And that's nice. It's more like it for the Canterbury Rams. A potential 3-point play.
Yeah, that's a great take. Just putting your head down, getting yourself to the rim, absorbing that contact, focusing on the finish, but still making these Bartercard officials call something. Check it out again. Strong take up on the rim, uses his length, and just like that, we'll take a trip to the Chemist Warehouse free throw line. First trip tonight.
Indeed. Looks like they didn't know the route to the Chemist Warehouse. The Rams, conversely, the Nuggets, 9 from 11 from the free throw line.
Right, their GPS was glitching.
Late in the half here. Can't potentially for a 2-for-1 play, but really don't need to force it at the moment. The Nuggets is Journey Tipene almost gets the roll. Just a slight differential between game and shot clock here late in the half. Can the Rams head to the break? There's something to smile about. They can. Mana Martin.
That's a great take, but I want to say earlier in that possession, they're missing their big inside with the mismatch on Journey Tipene. I think they could expose that a bit more in the second half.
Smiling out, spinning, and looking for McKenzie. Oh, the alley-oop was almost there. Pass just a little away, and a couple of back-to-back baskets certainly required for the Canterbury Rams, but it is Otago Nuggets. An 11-point advantage. And storming out of the gates. 14-5 in the first quarter. Rams are coming back. They'll take a little bit of confidence for that as we look at some of our key stats, courtesy of the Chemist Warehouse. And really is a split in terms of the Nuggets, not leaning too heavily on one player to do all the offensive load. Chisholm's been strong. Smiler. We've seen the impact of Batapayasi off the bench as well.
Yeah, everybody that has got in for the Nuggets has contributing to the scoring. They're all on the stat sheet. But as we have a look there at the rebounds, they're also winning that rebounding battle as well. 11-8, I want to say. And then, although we're only seeing 2 assists for the Nuggets, I feel like the ball is moving for them. They seem to have a flow going about them, really unselfish. And as we said, the Rams just settling for those threes and missing some of their mismatches and those advantages inside.
Yeah, just the one turnover for the Nuggets where it can be rapid by nature as much as by name. To just have 1 turnover and a half, the rapidly basketball, is some effort in terms of the way that they have looked after the basketball. 4 turnovers on the other hand for the Rams. Nuggets rapidly coach Ryan Rowley just reinforcing more of the same, gentlemen. Don't get complacent, because we certainly know this Canterbury Rams team are capable. And while fatigue perhaps might be setting in a touch for these 5 who are playing, appears to be the duration here. Sometimes too, when you don't see as many substitutions within a rapid league game, those connections, that cohesion actually just gets better and better as the game wears on. So it's not necessarily a negative that you're only playing with 5 in rapid league.
Yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons to both sides of it. When you can sit out, watch the game, analyze it, you know, not in real time, and see how it's breaking down, it can be a little easier. But you're right, the connection piece, getting that field together and really working it out, as soon as they can get on a roll, it could be going.
Here is Martin now, almost teased into shooting away the 3. They do get a rare offensive rebound here, and Martin gets another one, 3 times, 4th time lucky. And the size there of young Will Patton tips it up and in.
Yeah, way to chase his shot and get in there for those boards. Brody Cooper, the only one to knock down a 3 for the Rams.
Lovely find from Journey Tipene. Chisholm in the corner, can't connect. And the Rams are on just a little bit of a run here.
Oak Chisholm is one that they'll want to keep an eye on, though. He had 8 points in that first half.
Patton up high. Good intervention there. Journey Tipene making it tricky for Sula. Oh, lovely pass, McKenzie. Toby Hunt with the finish.
There's that versatility you spoke about that Zach McKenzie has the handle and the vision to drop it on a dime. The Rams still can't get it to go from deep.
Yeah, another really early shot from the Rams as well. 1 from 7 on the night from downtown. Again, just making the ball sing here. The Nuggets. There's Journey Tipene, fires away, and great strength there, McKenzie. And also in a foul. Just that extra experience at this level, isn't it? From Zach McKenzie, just knowing the body positioning, where to be.
Right, where that rebound is going to fall, reading the shot as it's on the way up. But I also love how fast the ball is moving for the Nuggets. They're really not afraid to let it go. You know, quick decision making.
Journey Tipene here. A little bit of ISO ball, and a very late whistle. Certainly contact. It was incidental or not, doesn't really matter in the eyes of the Barter card officials. And Patrick Journey Tipene now more free throws here. These are attempts 12 and 13 for the Nuggets.
He does that free throw routine every time. Just
spin?
Yeah, if this is your first time tuning in, that little around the back, that is absolutely his routine. And can you just wipe what I said earlier about the ball moving before we watch that possession?
Well, a couple of rare misses as well from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. 11-point game. It's certainly not out of the realms of possibility, but the Rams need to be better with possession than they were there. Cooper with the crossover and the hand. Yeah, that should be Nuggets ball, and it is. A swipe from McKenzie down off the thigh there of Cooper.
Just looking a bit frustrated right now, trying to make things happen on this Rams offensive side of things. If they can get some stops, maybe get out in transition, that could get things going as well, as we see Tyson Thatsipaese under duress.
They usually average in and around the mid-30s per game. The Rams held to 14 here, midpoint of the third. And conversely, the Nuggets, a little bit of a fill-up offensively. Doubled the score now, 28-14. Lovely spin, finish with the offhand. That is the Mana Martin we have come to know.
Second time we've seen him miss that outside shot and go get an easy one inside. Just ticking them away, up to 6 now.
Chisholm in the corner, back-to-back corner threes for the Nuggies.
Man, if that is how they're feeling, almost off 1 foot in the corner, that is tough.
Wasn't terrible defense either, just better offense as Martin again going to work, using his physicality, deceleration we talked about, and it's almost slow motion the way Mana Martin finds his way to the basket. It's a great effect. We'll take another look at this corner 3.
Hand down, man down, a little bit late, but was there in positioning. And Mana Martin finishing off that 3-point play. You're right, that second step off a Vera, Euro, whatever you want to call it, just getting that defense to bite and foul.
Speaking of footwork there, a little hezzy from Hunt. They create a little bit of separation. More free throws for the Nuggets. It's almost death by 1,000 cuts here for the Rams. Attempts 14 and 15. 9 of 13, make that 10 of 14. And in a 13-point game, you know, certainly one of the real difference makers here so far tonight.
Absolutely, especially in a rapid league game. But Toby Hunt says, thank you very much, I'll cash in here.
Full 24 seconds to work with here late in the third, the Rams. And they do get to that mismatch that you mentioned before, Crystal. Finally, Will Patton's able to cash in.
Yeah, I think they can eat down there all day if the Nuggets are going to keep their guards on the bigs down low. We'll see if they stick with it. Zach McKenzie trying to find some space.
Jenny Tipene here, putting up the prayer. Isn't answered. So the lead is 12. No lead is safe in Rapid League, but certainly looking the goods here, the Nuggets, for their 4th win in a row. Take something rather spectacular here, you'd think, from the Rams, but where there's life, there's hope. No, certainly won't drop their heads.
Oh no, it's a long night if you want to be dropping your heads this early. But I like the defense that the Rams entered with on that, not bailing Journey Tipene out on that layup. You know, staying disciplined, staying straight, knowing that the refs are blowing it the way that they are. So if they can get some more stops, things might turn around. And they've actually responded quite well. If we look at the scoring breaks, you know, they've only lost that third quarter by 1. They lost the second by 2. It was just that first quarter where they let the Otago Nuggets put 14 on the board.
And the only problem for the Rams is their most prolific quarter from a scoring perspective was that third quarter with 9 points. They're down by 12, so it's going to take something that we haven't seen so far here tonight at the Edgar Centre. And perhaps just need one other player outside of Mana Martin to take on a bit more of that offensive responsibility. Brody Cooper, perhaps the opportunity here.
Yeah, definitely Brody Cooper needs to be more aggressive. He has only taken 2 shots in this game.
The Nuggets get out of jail there a bit. Probably didn't need to jack up the 3 late or early in the clock, and that one bobbles around. It will be a Rams possession.
And let's not forget, Mana Martin is top 3 on the all-time Rapid League most points. So we know what he can do. And there's the guy we've been asking for, Brody Cooper. Too long on that floater.
Reversal. It was going to be with the Rams. It's going to go to the Nuggets. But yeah, surely the green light is with Brody Cooper. Nothing really to lose here. Might as well be ultra aggressive, see what happens. Journey Tipene ends up with it. And fighting for the rebound there, Kate and Smiler. A little battle there with the rebound.
Caleb Smung, one of the leading rebounders in this Rapid League team for the Nuggets. Very aggressive on the glass.
Here's Martin, top of the key. There's that spin again, but just loose with the handle. Fortuitous, and stays with the Rams. 8 on the shot clock. Can ill afford an empty possession here, Canterbury. Patton eventually hauls it in. Back through Martin now. Only gonna have to jack up a 3 here, Martin. Surely aware of the clock situation. No, he wasn't. That basket won't count. Good defensive pressure from the Nuggets.
Yeah, absolutely. Journey Tippinen doing a really good job of getting up and in the body of the offense. He knows, you know, he gives up some size inside, so if he can keep them out of the paint, that's where he can win it.
Nuggets still protecting that 12-point three-quarter time lead, and they advance it to 15. That's a big-time basket.
That is, and that's a long shot and what you're willing to give up if you sit in a zone.
Kate is going to go at it alone and just pulled out the chair there. Poor old Ihaka Kate saying there's got to be a bit of contact there. But no, the chair was pulled on you, young fella.
Now once again, these smaller Nuggets guards just using their body well. And also using the body of the offense as well.
So the Nuggets firmly in control. 2:24 to go in the fourth. And can perhaps really open up here and send a bit of a statement to the competition. What would be their 4th win in a row. And their 8th win for the season. As Hunt just glides to the basket. Toby Hunt. I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, this one might mean just a little bit more. Doing a lot of Rams players you would have seen a fair bit of or played with within the Canterbury system over the last couple of years.
Toby Hunt up to 8 points. Very efficient from the floor, shooting at 75% from the field.
It's a little bit loose there from Journey Tippinen. I've really liked Zach McKenzie, the facilitator here in Rapid League. We don't see that all too much in Sal's NBL, but just showing his full array, his vision, unselfish play. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I think the freedom that he gets, you know, on Rapid, especially with how much size he has, the difference in height between the two games. You can really see here.
He's the biggest pseudo point guard going around in Rapid League, Zach McKenzie. Well, kudos to the Nuggets. They came out, all guns blazing. Lovely spin move now. McKenzie, I was hoping for something a bit more spectacular than that. Sorry, Zach. But they started strongly, and they really just have had their foot flat on the accelerator ever since. That won't count. An offensive foul. Fair bit of frustration for the visitors from Upstate Highway 1, but kudos to the Nuggets. This is some performance. We talked pre-game, Crystal, around triple overtime. It has never looked like being close to overtime here tonight.
No, absolutely not. And a lot of thanks goes to that guy, Zach McKenzie. You said it, the way he's been dishing it around. We saw it there, the way he can get into his bag and show us different things. Also just the defense from the Nuggets. Up until then, had been locked down this quarter.
Totally. Marco Sula, second basket, up to 5 points. So Oak Chisholm with 14. Toby Hunt with 10. And they'll play right down to the final second here as those perhaps a little bit unfamiliar with Rapid League. Every basket does count, and going towards that overall points table in the NBL. Points differential in a very tight competition. Down the stretch could be significant. You won't see either team, irrespective of it being a 17-point game here. They'll be locked in right to the end.
Yeah, we have seen those points matter in past seasons. And also, like you said, just the reps that you can get.
You know it's your night, Zach McKenzie. The three-pointer as well, for good measure. 20-point lead, did not see this one coming. We wait with bated breath now to see if it flows on into the Sal's NBL game. They are going to call a BNZ player timeout. Why not? See if you can finish with a flourish. Just going to advance the ball over the half court. There's a nice opportunity for us to talk about the opportunity to win tickets to the big game. Scan that QR code for more information. You're enjoying the coverage here at home on Sky Sport. Just as good, if not better, at venue. Down and taking a game around Aotearoa in person as Hunt stops props, can't get the finish, and the BNZ are getting twice their money's worth here in this last minute. He's got another player timeout. And this is what you're talking about, Crystal, the importance of a rep, you know, something that they have trained, and perhaps, you know, in a hypothetical situation, they're saying we're down by one in the clutch, we want to get this right and at least go home tomorrow. You know, that was worthwhile.
Right, absolutely, and let's do it against some real competition. Oh, the threes just have not been dropping for the Rams tonight. 1 of 12 with that attempt, and just not their night.
Not their night, but emblematic, excuse me, of their night at possession for the Rams. But more power to the Otago Nuggets. They came out all guns blazing, and they just continued to win handsomely in the end here in front of their people at the Edgar Centre in Dunedin, 43-23. As we take a look at the key stats, courtesy of the Chemist Warehouse. 2 players in double-digit scoring for the Nuggets, Oak Chisholm, Toby Hunt. A lot of points scored at the Chemist Warehouse free throw line as well, 11 of 15. But the shooting percentages across the board, 10 of 18 from 2. A little bit down on three-point shooting, 4 of 12, but it didn't really matter on a night like tonight. They just came out with that intensity, that hunger, that desire, and yeah, I'm very impressed. They look like a serious team here in the Rapid League.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw them come back being down, only scoring 1 point in the first quarter. This Otago Nuggets team has a way of just winning games, and we see them also doing it on the defensive side of things. The Rams were held to 2 points in that last quarter. You know, we're not used to seeing that from Canterbury right across the board.
We certainly are not, and I'm sure they'll be wanting to square the ledger and change things up here. Stay with us on Sky Sport as we see some of the Canterbury Rams players involved in our next match, the Sal's NBL contest, getting through their warm-ups at around 7:30, so in about 22 minutes time we will be back with you for the Sal's NBL clash. Promises to be a classic, I reckon. It's going a little bit early, but we shall wait and see. Famous last words. Otago Nuggets hosting the Canterbury Rams and the Sal's NBL in about 20 minutes time. See you then.
And round 12 of the Cells NBL. Tonight, our night and day Otago Nuggets are taking on the Wheeler Motor Company Rams. A round 12 game in the NBL. The Rams are right here in Dunedin, 8 wins, 3 losses, and the Nuggets 5 wins, 6 losses ahead of tonight.
We would like to acknowledge the NBL leading partners. They are Sal's Authentic New York Pizzas, G-Day Gardner Hose, Sky, Chemist Warehouse, Bartercard, New Balance and Belgravia, Molten, R-Line and Building.
18 minutes to tip off. Teams to clear the court as we prepare for the 2 team introductions. Fans, introducing our visiting team tonight, the bench, Will Patton, Ihaka Kate, Jake Holmes, Brody Cooper, Mana Martin, Marco Sula, and Rene Rigaud. Tonight's starting five for the Rams. Two ex-Otago Nuggets, number 21 Jack Andrew and 33 Todd Withers. In number 7 Walter Brown, 25 Tamanancho, and number 5 and captain of the Rams Taylor Britt, head coach Quinn Clinton. And now Dunedin introducing your night and day Otago Nuggets. Coming off the bench tonight, Patrick Jiminy Tiffany, Toby Hunt, Oak Chisholm, Tyson Bata-Paesi, Caleb Smiler, Matthew Bartley, Zach McKenzie, and your starting five tonight for the Nuggets. In number 8, Isaac Miller-Jones. 13, Alain Louis. Number 6 is Craig Moore. Number 5, Boy BT Taj. And number 12, and your Nuggets captain, Ethan Rasbach. And your Nuggets head coach, Jeff Sparrow. Basketball fans, welcome into the Edgar Centre. 10 minutes to tip off. If you missed the Rapid League result, final score, Nuggets 43, Rams 23. Don't forget to head to our Nuggets website to view today's game day program.
Kia ora, hello, welcome into the Edgar Centre in Dunedin. Sal's NBL action round 10 on your Saturday night. It is the Otago Nuggets hosting the Canterbury Rams. Nick Bewley joined in commentary by Crystal Ledger-Walker. And two teams have already met in season 2026. The Rams getting the win on that occasion. And that really just stunted the Otago Nuggets season, didn't it, Crystal? They got off to a flying start, 4 from 4, handed their first loss since then, losing 6 of their last 7. Bit of faith, though, remaining in the Nuggets. Get involved with our Who Will Win poll there. A lot of love with the Rams as well, of course, coming off a loss last week to the Tuatara. But how do you see this one playing out? Because it's quite hard to get a read on the Nuggets at the minute, especially with the acquisition, excuse me, of Craig Moller.
Yeah, he's been a massive difference for them. They had Michael Henn earlier in this season, and to me, his game was really similar to Isaac Miller-Jose. So bringing in someone like Craig Miller gives you a different look inside. He could be a difference today, but I think the key for them is really going to be defensively. Can they make some adjustments in-game to shut this Rams team down?
Yeah, they're going to need to make an adjustment. You always feel, certainly the games I've called of the Canterbury Rams, that after a defeat, they are hungry to turn the tide. As we take a look at the Sal's NBL basketball standings, and these are two teams, of course, firmly in the top 6 mix at the midpoint of the season. As you can see there, the Rams sitting in 4th spot at the moment. A win would provisionally see them jump ahead of the Saints into 3rd. The Nuggets still hanging in there after that hot start, 4-0, but as mentioned, just 1 win from their last 7 games. As we take a look at the ladder, and some results just coming through over the last few moments while we're off air between the Rapid League game. If you're just catching up, the Hawke's Bay Hawks beating the Franklin Bulls, a big time win for them. And earlier today, the Southland Sharks, who are just going from strength to strength, Crystal, another win, this time on the road over the Nelson Giants. As we take a look at our visitors, in fact, no, upcoming fixtures, should know this by now. Sunday afternoon hoops, Tuatara and Saints. That's a juicy one there at the Event Finder Stadium with plenty of top 6 implications. Then on to the Jets Fine as we take an early look through into round 11, Giants, Jets, Sharks and Ears.
A lot of tough games all around the competition, and if we're going off by what happened just earlier today with those Hawks beating the Bulls, you know, that just shows that anyone can come out on any given night and take a W.
Speaking of Rams, captain and point guard Taylor Britt, earlier in the weekend, he was mentioning to me it's the first time all season this week they had everybody there healthy and involved in training. Taylor Britt starting in the point guard position, fresh off a big-time game, 33 points last week against the Tuatara. Tamanang Cho, Walter Brown, Todd Withers, Jack Andrew, and we caught up with Taylor a little bit earlier.
We have Taylor Britt here today. The Rams are coming off a finals quality contest where a slow start had you playing a game of catch-up. What are the keys for you and the Rams to come out on the front foot to grab control of the game early?
Yeah, I think it's defense that let us down massively up in Auckland in our last game, so that's been the focus this week, defense and communication. Can't be giving up 100 points each game.
On the road today against a Nuggets team that has itself gotten off to quick starts, what aspects of their early game offense will you and the Rams most focused on impacting today?
I guess it's the energy they come up with every game. Coach has got them playing hard, so we need to match that from the get-go.
Thank you, Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor Britt there. They've always hung their hat on their defensive efforts, and quite rare to see them give up 100 points in a game, even in a game where it was just 100 to 97, you know, one possession game. But I expect a lift in desire and intensity in that connection, communication in the defensive end. As we take a look at our hosts, the Otago Nuggets, we've spoken about Craig Moller, his involvement since joining. This is his 5th game here tonight, and his combination with Miller-Jose as well, one to look out for. We are intrigued by the battle of the point guards. We've heard from Taylor Britt. Now let's hear from the Nuggets point guard, Alain Louis.
Alain Louis here. The Nuggets are coming off a trio of tough losses, but have rediscovered some offensive punch despite not grabbing the desired results down the stretch after fast starts. How do you and the Nuggets keep the offensive momentum going for a full 40 minutes as you look to grab the win on your home court today?
Just like you said, the key word was 40 minutes. We've been playing well for three or two quarters, so now it's just about working towards playing a whole game well, and we have a plan and we've been practicing hard, so yeah.
The Rams have proven themselves a versatile team with multiple scoring options that must be dealt with. What aspects of their attack do you and the Nuggets need to impact today if you want to walk away with the victory?
They're a very good team with a good structure, and I feel like they run their pick and roll really well, and the pick and roll is going to be something that we're going to have to deal with today and disrupt, and yeah.
Thank you, Adeline.
And those are some good points there, Crystal. It is important context, even within this losing streak for the Nuggets. They have been there or thereabouts. I mean, a 6-point defeat to the Saints, a 1-point loss to the Bulls, those are their most recent 2 games, and losing by 10 to the Sharks is nothing to look at negatively either. So there are aspects of their game there. 40 minutes, though, that's the key, just putting it all together on the night.
Yeah, and Alain Louis will be key to that. Can he bring the pressure defensively? We see that point guard matchup. We know Taylor Britt is the key to the Rams offense. He gets things going. He controls the pace. Between him and Walter Brown, they really, get things moving on their side. So can Alain Louis stop Taylor Britt, slow him down, stop the ball touches? Because those are the keys right there. But you're right, the Nuggets, they've been right there. That close loss to the Bulls, right on the buzzer. That was tough. And yeah, close to the Saints. So can they turn around and put it all together for that full 40 minutes tonight to come up and stop that losing streak that they're on right now?
Yeah, I want to see a bit more from Boy Tuach as well. We know he's a very efficient shooter, shoots the 3-ball at a 44% clip. We saw against the Southland Sharks earlier in the season. Season high, 28 points on 10 of 13 shooting. Averaging 18 points a game, but I feel like he needs more touches. A green light, if you will, from Coach Jeff Sparrow to say, we'll play a bit more through you because we know how good he can be.
Yeah, exactly. And staying aggressive for the full 4 quarters. We've seen him come and go. He can absolutely get hot, but there are times when he can go missing, and I'm not sure if that's on his teammates getting him touches or that's on him just hiding in the corners.
The Rams in their traditional red strip. Of course, a fair bit of familiarity when you look at Todd Withers, a former Otago Nugget, a Sal's NBL champion with the Otago Nuggets in 2022. And Jack Andrew, of course, as well. There's been some pickup for the Rams. 16 points, just under 10 rebounds a game, effectively averaging a double-double. And the battle on the boards as well, Crystal. That's probably one area when looking at the tail of the tape too. We see Moller sort of hanging around. We know he's a good 3-point shooter, but the Rams have very much in the last 3 or 4 years, certainly in the Judd Flavel era, they're big on creating those second chance opportunities. Jack Andrew, 4 offensive rebounds per game. Need a box out tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And between Jack Andrew and Todd Withers, not just their comfortability being back in Otago, but the physicality that they bring to the game is going to be something that the Nuggets have to pay attention to and lock in on early. Because although Isaac Miller-Jones and Craig Moller have that length, they're not known necessarily for that physical presence inside and being a dominating force for the full 40 minutes.
Cool moment here for young Charlotte, our ball presenter, thanks to Night and Day. There's Miller-Jones and Andrew. Get ready for the opening jump. Nuggets Rams on your Saturday night at the Edgar Centre. The Rams open things up, first possession. And they go to Andrew with the spin early and goes to work just like that.
Man, did you call that? Did you say he was going to pop off this game? Real quick, aggressive inside, got the mismatch on Boy Tuach. Early, easy buckets for Jack Andrew.
And then a loose pass there from Moller. So, the battle of the bigs will be intriguing. Sort of contrasting styles. Nicely read there by Rusbatch as Very nice season at the Otago Nuggets, Ethan Rusbatch, and like we were talking about in Rapid League, Ethan Rusbatch spent plenty of time in Christchurch. Just be a little bit extra on this one, you'd think.
Right, yes, a Christchurch native. But to me, his off-ball defense has been great this year, this season. We see him there just digging in on the post. Alan Louis on Jack Andrew. We know that's a mismatch. Ethan Rusbatch knew it too and knew to come down for that double.
As we see so often, we talked about the battle of the point guards, but when we look at when the Nuggets are in possession, you see at the moment at least Louis playing off ball, but it'll be Walter Brown who picks him up. Almost always the biggest defensive assignment lies with Brown, but here comes Britt the other way, getting to his left, but just kicking it back out. Perhaps watching some NBA Game 4 finals action there. Another lefty, De'Aaron Fox, as that one goes down. Strong start from the Rams.
Man, that is a tough look. Hand right there on Cho, does not matter.
32% three-point shooter, Tamanang Cho. Not necessarily his strength, but showing his capability. A bit of a sluggish start here from the Nuggets. Cho, averaging 21 points a game. It's been a great find by the Rams. Here he is, getting the switch. Miller-Jose now pulling up from the elbow. Around and out. Tied it up by Tuach.
He's just real twitchy. You know, hard to guard. And then we see the full court pressure from Walter Brown getting it back.
That's some frustration there. Tuach thought there was a push. In fact, Jeff Sparrow, the Nuggets coach, just wants to have a word. Hasn't been the start that he was after. And a bit of a, I don't know, a bit of emotions almost spilling over there. Probably a smart timeout, even though it's super early in this first quarter.
Hey, well, we've spoken, you know, off air about Jeff Sparrow and how intense he is, the standard he has for this team. And you can see he is irate right now about how they've started this one.
I was privileged the last time these two teams met. I was in the sideline role with Moles and Casey on the call at Parakiore in Christchurch, and this just is Jeff Sparrow. He probably would be irate about something even when they're up double digits. He has super high standards, particularly on the defensive ends. He's all about effort, energy, enthusiasm, and just wants you to be locked in. And anything else, anything below his high standards, at least in his mind, is inexcusable. So it might seem like quite the image there, but that is Jeff Sparrow to a T. It's just whether those Nuggets players just get that same response. He's gone with an early change here. This is getting Tyson Pasapaiate into the ball game a little bit earlier than anticipated. Here is Brown. Bit of a mismatch here. And Walter Brown just smooth with it since coming back from the United States in a bit of college hoops.
Now we said it, maybe going away, coming back, getting a change of scenery has really lit a new type of fire in him as we see the Rams fly around the court. Rusbatch. Oh.
Halfway down from Rusbatch. Got Brown to bite on the closeout. Couldn't convert. Open man, it's Tamanang Cho. Can't get that three ball to go. Mola with the rebound.
We already have seen him knock down a three tonight. That's a good look for the Rams, and they got it on that ball fake into the post, which made the outside defense come over, open up their shooter. Tyson Thatspaesi can't connect.
He's got the green light, though, off the bench to fire away. They do shoot a high volume of threes, the Otago Nuggets. Most efficient three-point shooting team, but we'll see a lot go up. Nice work. Withers, speaking of three-point shooting, the former Nugget, current Ram, can't get that one to go.
Todd Withers, as a big, has that ability to stretch the floor and space the offense out for the Rams. The Nuggets moving it around.
Mola now. And the reaction there from Cho says it all. He can shoot the three, though, Craig Mola. Just comes into this one. 32% three-point shooter. So they need to be aware, though, the Rams. They would have done the scout, sort of pick-and-pot threat.
The other thing about him, though, he's confident and willing to take those threes. So you just don't want to play the risk of, you know, letting him feel it out and get hot.
subs in for the Rams. Sorry, Crystal, with Rene Rougeau into the game, 40 years young. And Jake Holmes, who we didn't see in Rapid League and has got plenty of burn in the NBL so far this season, off to the University of San Diego soon. Jake Holmes out of Rangiora, about 20 minutes a game now. Pivotal piece of the rotation as Taylor Britt goes about doing some Taylor Britt things. 9-0 start. Where does the first bucket come for Otago? The sting has been taken out of the Edgar Centre.
I've been in some gyms and they have a rule where their fans have to stand up until they score the first bucket. Lucky that's not a rule down here.
Louis getting that paint touch and at least winning a trip to the Chemist Warehouse stripe for some free throws.
That's Alan Louis' strength, his physicality, his size, getting in the paint, drawing fouls out of the defense. So I think it's very smart of the Rams to put Walter Brown on him, one of their better defenders. Keep Taylor Britt away. You don't want to get him in foul trouble.
And the first one through the net for the Nuggets. It's taken 4 minutes, just over. And yeah, chatting to Taylor Britt earlier in the week, he said ideal situation for them, having conceded 100 points against the Tuatara. They want to hold teams to 80 points a game. That's their rough mark, 40 minutes of basketball. Those are some high standards, but they have come out with that sort of defensive mindset and intensity so far tonight. As Andrew with the hook, again the hustle on the glass. Everything is difficult here for the Nuggets. This is a good opportunity here though, and the ball found the right man, Tyson Tatapaiase, the first field goal.
In rhythm, in transition, that's where the Nuggets look great. The Rams just look too good and comfortable inside. Jack Andrew, easy flush.
Season high for Jack Andrew was against the Nuggets. 21 points when these two teams met earlier in the season in Christchurch on 8 of 15 shooting. And you just get the sense that was without Mola. A different matchup tonight, but you feel like he can get the same sort of benefit from this matchup, the way that the Nuggets defend. Is Brown now from downtown. He's been a little bit away on the three ball the last couple of games, Walter Brown. It's a really hot start, still averaging 20 points a game. As Tatapaiase has really come in and added a little bit of impetus off the bench since that timeout.
Yeah, we know he's instant offense. Walter Brown says, sit down. I'm getting right to the cup, taking what I want. Starting this game hot.
And this is what we spoke about pre-game with the Rams, and coming off losses, very rarely do they go back-to-back in terms of defeats. That's a strong drive, but just not the finish, hanging the layup there on the rim, Louis.
Taylor Britt doing a good job to not give that bailout. But look at the Nuggets switching this pick and roll, trusting their guards inside, and also their bigs on the likes of Taylor Britt.
Rougeau calling for it. The get out of jail three though from downtown Taylor Britt. Crystal shaking her head. They did everything right there, the Nuggets defensively.
The Rams just picking apart these mismatches, and Ethan Rusbatch, second attempt, can't get it to go.
1 of 11 now from the field. Similar spot for Britt. This one doesn't go. We heat check there from Britt, fresh from that season high 33 points and a loss to the Tuatara. This one's online, never looked like missing. Tyson Tatapaiase is locked in off the bench.
Tyson Tatapaiase and Alan Louis can switch between that 1 and 2 position and have great vision to find each other. That time, Tyson coming out trumps.
Oh, picked off there. Wayward pass by Rougeau, straight to Mola. And here he is. He's just got the license from downtown. Oh, he deserved it there. Tyson Tatapaiase. How did that not go in? Andrew. Oh, just simple two-man action. Where's the communication defensively for the Nuggets? Andrew is feasting.
Great pass, great delivery from Taylor Brett, and Jack Andrew with the smarts to slip behind the D on that roll. Louis off the pick and roll.
Got a piece of that, Brett. I'm liking the aggression from the guards and the Nuggets. We're going to need something else as you take a second look here. As you mentioned, just slipped through there, Andrew. Easy. Just basketball 101 there offensively. Here's Jeff Sparrow. He will not stop twitching. He is locked in. Otago Nuggets first-year head coach. Rusbatch. Ihaka Kate into the game and just doing enough. Was a wayward three-point attempt there from Ethan Rusbatch. 10-point lead. Withers with the mismatch. Holmes doesn't mind it from deep. Jake Holmes. And another timeout called here by Coach Sparrow. The Rams, their third three-pointer, shooting 9 of 15 from the field. Let's take another look. Not settling, unselfish basketball, Crystal, and the young man steps up.
To me, they're just making the most of that mismatch down low. We saw it go into Todd Withers. He has Tyson Thatspaesi in him. The double has to come from somewhere if you're the Nuggets. But man, it is tough going when the Rams are making substitution and they're coming off the bench, knocking down shots like that.
Feel like they're due a slice of good fortune, the Otago Nuggets. Some of those three balls halfway down. Favourable home court rims so far here at the Edgar Centre. $35 large pepperoni pizza. Online code sells basket26. Get them up until Tuesday. So let's see what adjustment, if any, has been made. Well, one adjustment, at least in terms of personnel, is the introduction here, Crystal, of Matthew Bardsley.
Yeah, and Boy Tuach pulled very early, you know, played those 2 minutes, and we haven't seen him come back off the bench. That's a lot of scoring, but Tyson Thatspaesi has come off looking hot as well.
He's staying in and playing plenty on the ball here. Thatspaesi is Rusbatch, creative along the baseline.
Hasn't been able to get himself going from three that time, decides to take it to the rim and get an easy one. And here we see them in a little 1-3-1 zone, very active.
Cates, not a known three-point shooter, but almost everything is falling here for the Rams, and he'll get a whistle here. It's Bardsley, and a bit of a pretzel there with Rougeau. As we take a look, the experience there, the guile of Rusbatch around the rookie, Jake Holmes. Oh, that was last touch by Withers, just slinging it there. Tamanung Cho off the inbound, catching everyone a little bit unaware. Zach McKenzie into the ball game as well here. So Coach Sparrow going deep down the bench, looking for a spark. Just 10 points inside the last minute of the first quarter. Moller, paint touch, kicks it out. McKenzie, modern basketball 101, Zach McKenzie.
Versatile. Moller being able to take that rep and have the vision to see McKenzie out long is a great thing when your bigs can do that.
Not a man you want to leave alone beyond the arc, Todd Withers, but unable to make the Nuggets pay. Got a 2-second differential here between game and shot clock. They'll use all of it here. And the youngster, Tyson Thatspaesi, has really come on well off the bench. Tuach back in, looking for a pick, goes at it alone. Can't get the favourable touch off the glass. A little bit loose there at the end for the Rams, who have started this one the better. Quarter time at the Edgar Centre. And work to do for the host, the Otago Nuggets. It is the Canterbury Rams leading the Otago Nuggets 21-13.
I'd like to welcome Jamie Lee and Zaria, who are going to be playing the Sal's NBL Steel competition. Now, each of the girls has to shoot from under the basket. When they make the goal, they have to run as fast as they can to the middle of the court, steal a Sal's Pizza Slice voucher and the return. Go get those shots in, girls. Grab that ball. Oh, it's a very long way. I know that when you're little. It's a very long way. Oh. There we go. Well done, Jamie Lee. Come and steal a piece of pizza. You can do it, Zaria. Pop it up. Oh, so close. So close. It's a very long way up, isn't it? It's harder than it looks, doesn't it? Mums and dads have been going, you're shorting your vegetables. Well done, Zaria. Come and steal a piece of pizza. You've got 20 seconds left. Just about, up we go. Oh, so close. There we go. Well done, Zaria. Come and steal another piece of pizza. Congratulations to the girls and big thanks to Sal's for the NBL steal.
Quarter time here at the Edgar Centre. The Rams up by 8. Nick Bewley, Crystal Ledger-Walker alongside. Pouring over the box score there. Crystal, what do the Nuggets need to do different?
They need some extra possessions. We've seen Coach Jeff Sparrow try to make a lot of adjustments. They started switching that pick and roll. We saw them drop into a 1-3-1 zone to end that first quarter. And now we see them put Caleb Smiler in the ball game for the first time. But they just need some more offense going their way. Matthew Bardsley inside.
Just not getting the rolls either, which isn't helping matters for the Nuggets. The Rams, conversely, shooting at 52% from the field, dominating the glass. And Taylor Britt, I was about to say, felt like that was going to go in. There's, speaking of dominating the glass, Todd Withers, can he get going from downtown? He's coming off a uncharacteristic 1 from 8 from the field, 3 points last Wednesday against the Tuatara, and he's just one guy, Crystal. I mean, if Todd Withers on top of everything else starts to get going here for the Rams, it's almost good night nurse.
And we're someone, you know, we picked him as someone that would come alive in this game, very familiar with this court, with these rooms, with these fans. We saw him, you know, with some warm embraces before the game. So I'd expect him to get going and give them a show.
Here's Britt now, unselfishly back to Cho. Miller-Jose in front, a little hezzy. Another offensive rebound, the strength there of Tamanang Cho, who just quietly racks up the rebounds, just over 8 rebounds a game so far this season, on top of the 21 points a game.
And that's what's frustrating if you're the Nuggets squad right now, is just those second chance opportunities. Yes, he got to the rim on you, he's a little bit faster, but you also didn't put a body on him and pull in that board after the fact.
Coach Sparrow just trying to find something, as you say, Crystal, going deep down the bench. Guys like Zach McKenzie in. Saw Tyson Patabayasi get plenty of burn there in the first quarter. Oh, lovely active hands there from the man known as the slippery eel, Matthew Bardsley, as Caleb Smiler. Don't think, well, Miller-Jose certainly went up to tip it in. I think he left it to drop, and it should be a 3-point play here. We'll get a second look on the replay.
Started by Matthew Bardsley, who brings that intensity off the bench. He's the energy guy, gets it out to Caleb Smiler, who we just saw have a really good rapid league game. We know he's warm, we know he likes getting to the rim. And can he finish it off for the 3-point play?
He gets the rebound though, Smiler. But then the turnover. And Walter Brown, fresh from 3 steals, 4 blocks against the Tuatara. So active as well, speaking of the defensive energy. That one they're going to say, well, that's a little bit unfortunate on Otago. Kicked ball. Will remain with the Rams, and See this a fair bit from Coach Quinn Clinton, quite early in the second quarter, likes to call a timeout. Again, if those standards aren't upheld, let's just readdress.
That, and I also think, you know, someone like Quinn Clinton, he's thinking big picture, championship run at the end. Let's take our breaks, let's save our players where we can, especially through this mid-season stretch.
He's definitely given a bit more responsibility to some players who have benefited from rapid league action, guys like Jake Holmes. Seen plenty more of Ihaka Cates as well. We might see a little bit of Mana Martin at some stage too, but these are guys, when we look back at some of those Rams championship winning years, just sort of part of the mainland Eagles academies, and on the outside looking in, watching guys like our Isaac brothers, Tama and Kaya, watching Max Darling, who's now a Southland Shark. So it is a great program that the Canterbury Rams have, and a lot of faith in the local system. And now here's their opportunity.
Right, and I was saying that earlier, you know, with those local coaches that really know, you know, those local guys, especially at the high school level, they watch them in the academies all the way through. I think a few clubs, you know, especially here closer to me in Waikato, the Whai, I see that right down at the bottom levels, the effect that these teams have all the way down the system.
So as much as it's felt like a dominant start from the Rams, it is just an 8-point game here, and a lot of basketball still to go, but just not locking in there defensively. And now just trying to make something out of nothing there, Rusbatch. I feel like Tamarang Cho is the wrong sort of guy you want to poke the bear. Some of those players, Crystal, I'm sure you play with, and you get in someone's head, they don't play as well. Then there's the others who are like, come at me, and look what happens.
Right, and it's about to get a whole lot worse if you push the wrong button.
On the baseline here, Bardsley, and another turnover. That one's gone out of bounds. Turnover number 6 for the Nuggets. Just not treasuring possession, those critical moments.
The Rams doing a good job, though, of keeping them on that baseline, you know, cutting off those angles, forcing the Bartercut officials not to make a foul call, but that side or baseline out of bounds.
Big mismatch this, Andrew Patapayasi, unselfish, slings it to Brown, can't get that 3-ball radar online on this occasion. But again, they'll be happy with that possession. It's not the desired outcome. Moller back in. Here's Louis, a little bit of separation. Miller-Jose catches Andrew in the air. More ball movement here from Otago, but then the tough shot doesn't even make the rim from Rusbatch.
It's just about to say, and look at that battle again. Taisa Thatapaesi getting caught down low on these bigs, and the Rams right now really exploiting that mismatch.
And the foul called against number 1, Tyson Thatapaesi for the Nuggets, his first foul.
Baseline inbound here from Britt. Cho. Withers was demanding it, didn't come, and then just a little bit loose on the handle from Cho. Miller-Jose, oh, he can get up. Isaac Miller-Jose almost got us out of our seats.
If there's a way to get your team back in the game, it's doing something like that.
Oh, the frustration there from Withers. It almost feels like he's too open at the moment, Todd Withers. We're going to get a second look here. Miller-Jose. I saw some chat on the socials, and I love these ideas, hypothetical ideas around slam dunk contests, NBL All-Star games. He'd be one of my top picks, Isaac Miller-Jose. I want to see what he can do.
There'd be a few up there if you're not, you know, getting excited to watch Carlin throw down. Look at Tyson Thatapaesi, ball on a string, and the pump in the air with the finish.
Well, let's get a skills contest as well. Someone like Tyson Thatapaesi. Repaying the faith here from Coach Sparrow. There's Brown. And the 3-ball just a little off here from the Rams, but what remains is their effort and enthusiasm to crash the boards. And when someone like Taylor Britt, Crystal, is getting offensive rebounds, something's wrong.
You spoke about the rebound battle prior to this game and how big that was going to be here today. Yes, it's terrible when you have the opposition point guard pulling them in and getting sent to the Chemist Warehouse free throw line. But if we have a look at trends and how this game played out last time these two teams matched up, the Rams dominated the boards. 56-38. The Nuggets really need to put a body on them.
Back out to a double-digit lead here for Canterbury. There's Mola. Defensive pressure there from the vet, Rougeau. And that's about as good as it gets at the moment with an ISO ball firing away from downtown. And a miss from Tyson Data-Payase. 3 of 10 now from beyond the arc, Otago. A little energy here in the gym as well. Occasionally we get the defense chant going from the ground announcer as Brett says, I'll take that invitation from downtown, thank you very much.
Second three-pointer, absolutely nails it. He's just looking too comfortable up to 11 right now. Miller Jose with a little bit of response.
Invited to meet the Nuggets for photos and signatures at the end of the game this evening.
A foul on Rene Rougeau, who I doubt will be wanting to keep this streak going, but it is reasonably impressive. 3 games so far for the Rams, and 3 times he's fouled out.
He's letting his physicality be known.
Yeah, totally.
Isaac Miller-Joe shooting for the Nuggets.
Miller Jose makes the first. He's been a really good pickup for mine, Crystal. And as you mentioned, in terms of that spark, energy, he can come up with that big play that just lifts not only his teammates, but more importantly here at the Edgar Centre, lifts the atmosphere. So just look for him as Mana Martin checks in here for the Rams, and it's a travel. First touch.
That's tough to come in off the bench, have to bring the ball up against the full court pressure like the Nuggets. Definitely want to get it back here. But going back to Isaac Miller-Jose, he really matches the passion, the intensity that Coach Jeff Sparrow brings. So no surprise he recruited him from the Manawatu Jets when he was an assistant coach watching on.
Louis doesn't get the 3 ball. That I was going to say felt like it was last touch by Holmes. It's going to be Rams possession. Jeff Sparrow might check himself in at some stage here. He absolutely loves it, the Nuggets head coach.
I have said he's had one of the best defensive stances in the gym at times. And I also don't know if that's the right shot the Nuggets want to take. The Rams letting Louis take those 3s, sagging off him, and Withers. Finally, his first points on the board.
Yeah, all class, didn't settle for an outside jumper. So he's so often here from a player as capable from downtown when it's not your night, 3-point shooting. Just make it easier on yourself. Get to the basket, see that ball go through the hoop. It's interesting how quickly things can change once you see that picture.
Yeah, once you see it go on, it definitely helps. But how about Taylor Brett right then trying to argue, getting the ball back, very quick hands inside.
Nice little tip there from Rougeau. Still with the Nuggets. Late in the shot clock here, Mola. And coming across with the help defense, it's the youngster Holmes. Well, not in Otago's home, not anywhere, is Rougeau.
Too easy for the Rams. Ball just flowing right now. Jake Holmes was suited up rapidly, but he didn't play, and he was waiting for a moment like that to let out his energy.
Mola fakes with the long 2, not fooling anybody. As Louis just puts the shoulder into Holmes. And then the youngster just a little bit overzealous on the second attempt.
Miller Jose with that work ethic on the glass on that take. Let's have another look at Jake Holmes getting up for the denial.
You mentioned off air, just his length, his wingspan. And he's a serious athlete. It's no surprise he's drawn the attention of the US colleges and will be off to UC San Diego later in the year. There's one to follow indeed, Jake Holmes. Oh, perhaps a slightly unlucky call there. Will remain with the Rams. 3:31 to go in the half. The lead is comfortable, but don't want to get too comfortable.
No, and you said when the Rams are coming off a loss, they're dangerous. One thing they could tidy up, though, if we're nitpicking the Rams, are these three-pointers. 28% from deep right now.
And they're another team that certainly shoot a high volume of threes. Jack Andrew every now and then. How on earth has Rougeau got that from behind Russ Batch's back? Doesn't make the Nuggets pay. Another offensive rebound. Here's Louis. And just active hands. Rougeau locked in.
And on that, you can also just see his experience. He could see that flare screen coming. He knows where the ball's coming from. Just throwing your hand up like that, never know what could happen. And he gets a chance for his defense just to reset and have another look at it.
Moller now looking to facilitate McKenzie. Louis, and just daring him into a three-pointer. Alain Louis, more known as that more traditional point guard, the court marshal, the facilitator. Shoot a high volume of three-pointers. In fact, going into this one, 18% on the season. So, Crystal, that's just knowing your scout, isn't it? Knowing that they can live with that shot. Should it go in? Sure, fair play to you, but law of averages says to us that's the right play.
Right, the Rams obviously, they've had a long break. They've been able to go over the scout, really lock in on personnel. I know they would have had Louis' name circled as, like you said, the facilitator, the pass-first guard he is.
And the help doesn't come quite quick enough. And Alain Louis, it's more like it. That's his game. And a timeout called here by Coach Quinn Clinton of the Canterbury Rams. And oh, goodness me, we've just gone to a replay here, but I believe a tech has been dished out. It certainly looked like that was the signal. We'll wait and see. Just get some confirmation. Nonetheless, there's the Rams with the timeout call. So take a look at Jeff Sparrow just locking in.
You know, if you're the Rams, you have these high championship standards. We just spoke about knowing personnel, knowing that Louis hasn't knocked it down from three, but giving that layup, no one being there on help side, potentially that's something that the Rams are looking at tidying up in this timeout.
Yeah, there's the confirmation there via our ground announcer, Tamanang Cho, with the tech, and it was just getting a little bit feisty even earlier in the game, but a back and forth between this gentleman, centre of your screen, Ethan Rusbatch, who doesn't mind it, Crystal Ledger-Walker. We're talking about poking the bear. Lots of little point swim there for Easy E.
Right, maybe he knew what he was doing. He knew something we didn't. And hey, those little games within the games.
So the tech free throw is made by Rusbatch. It is now Rams with possession, but that's just one to follow. Game within a game. And Cho just needs to be a little bit extra careful here. Pinpoint pass down low, but great recovery from McKenzie. Swats it away.
Zach McKenzie plays like a guard, but has the length of a big. Able to get it. Rusbatch on the rim. That's where he's been good tonight.
Cuts it to 11. And signs of life within the Nuggets. In their home gym. It's Cho, though. I told you, I just think he's the sort of player that you just don't want to push their button.
Yeah, he said, if I'm going to give up to, I'll go get it back. That's he was worth it.
Here's Tuarch. Wayward from downtown. This hasn't been his night thus far. That was just his second field goal attempt. Only 6 minutes of on-court action. 90 seconds to go in the half. Cho showing his physicality. Gets a whistle and a foul. Perhaps just a little bit individualistic there, Tamanang Cho. There was almost no chance that ball was being passed.
He is tough to guard. He's one of those guys you can give it to and you're like, let's make space, you go create. He's quick, he's twitchy, and he'll read what you give him. Able to get Mackenzie up in the air that time, and he has the athleticism to match anyone in this league. Unable to get it at the Chemist Warehouse free throw line.
Speaking of Chemist Warehouse, great chance to talk about the Hoops in Schools program. If you want to get involved with hoops at your school thanks to Chemist Warehouse, you can do so now. Scan that QR code for more information and apply at Basketball New Zealand's website. Great initiative thanks to our friends at Chemist Warehouse. Late in the half, can the Nuggets, a couple of full possessions here. The pass just wasn't on for Bata. A rare offensive rebound here though for Moller and Otago, and a whistle, bit of contact on the way up, and some free throws coming here for Craig Moller.
Craig Moller still searching for his first bucket in this game. He's tried to get it going from deep, had an air ball early, and just sticking with these boards right now.
Averaging just under 16 points a game since arriving in Otago. Craig Moller had a season-high 20 points against the Nelson Giants. Seen him in this NBL before with the Taranaki Ears.
Yeah, but a different look going back then.
Yeah. He's found a barber on his way down to Dunedin. Less than a minute to play in the half. Here's Brown in action. Lovely footwork and finish.
That is what it looks like when you are comfortable on the court. We see him set that little ghost screen. They know the Nuggets are switching it. Came out of that and got himself to a 2-foot stop with the easy step through.
Ruspatch now with the mismatch on Taylor Britt. Two players who know each other all too well. Shot clock's off here late. Rams up by 13. And they've certainly been, by and large, in control of this contest thus far. Nuggets hanging in there. Britt gets the switch. Wants it for himself. Can't get the three ball to go. Moller won't put the prayer up. Forgetting about the BNZ player timeout option there. He's just getting a reminder from Ethan Ruspatch. But 20 minutes down, 20 to come. And Canterbury Rams in control so far of this one at the Edgar Centre in Dunedin, leading 40-27.
Welcome and Meridian Mall Mini Miners. We're pleased to have ballers from Silverstream Primary School. A big thanks to the Otago families behind the Otago Nuggets, including the tailor-made Motors family, the Nuggets vehicle supplier.
Halftime here at the Edgar Centre, Sal's NBL basketball action, where it is the Rams who lead the Nuggets 40 points to 27. Nick Yawley here with Crystal Ledger-Walker alongside in commentary. And I'll tell you what, we're just having a look at this box score and almost trying to transport ourselves into the mind of Jeff Sparrow. I know we know how intense he will be in this halftime discussion, but what, if anything, he's tried different rotations, different players. I did not think Tyson Fata-Paiasi would be their top point scorer at halftime. What do they need more of here in the second half to change things around? Yeah,
they really need the starting lineup for the Nuggets to lock in. You're right, Tyson Fata-Paiasi off the bench contributing the most points. You know, you want your starters to respond. Boy Tuaj still sitting on a donut. Craig Mola only got 1 point up next to his name. You want those other starters to start feeling more comfortable. But hey, let's give credit to the Rams, the defense. We knew they had a big focus on that today, and right now they're on track to holding the Nuggets to 60 points. Another thing that the Rams are dominating to start this game is the rebounds. 29 to the Nuggets 17. The Nuggets can definitely put some more bodies, be more physical inside, because that glass battle is absolutely favoring the Rams right now.
And it's not only the rebounding, it's who is rebounding. We just saw it a couple of slides ago. I don't think in my 4 years calling the Rams that Taylor Britt has had 6 first half rebounds, including an offensive rebound. It's almost the ease in which they're getting possession after a Nuggets miss. And then on the other end, as you mentioned, just dominating the glass at the other end with 6 offensive rebounds as well, the Canterbury Rams. So, and that comes back to energy, that comes back to desire and hunger and all these things that you try and drill into your team pre-game, but they just need to find a spark. They went to Miller Jose, who can be that spark guy, Tyson Fata-Paiasi as well. But there's some real work to do here for the Nuggets. Otherwise, they're looking at what would be their 7th loss in 8 games, which just seems a wild thing to say out loud after they won their first 4. As we take in some of the stars of tomorrow, perhaps in about a decade, perhaps they take some inspiration there. We'll come back to you shortly here on Sky Sport, the second half from the Edgar Centre up next.
Canterbury for mini minors from Silver Stream School, well done. We'd like to thank our 2026 Ninth Day Otago Nuggets partners and naming right partner Ninth Day, our platinum partners Homestead Bay, Sky, Beecher, Dunedin City Council and Remarkables Park Town Centre.
Our major partners, Ben and Jerry's, Emerson's Brewery, 4 and 20. The Hits, LJ Hooker Dunedin, Mountain Dew, Meadow Fresh, Greasy Car, the Otago Daily Times, Better Creative, and Sky.
And a big thanks to the Otago families behind the Otago Nuggets that saw you here tonight, including the Taylor Made Motors family, the Nuggets vehicle supplier. Otago Nuggets fans, you're invited to meet the Nuggets for photos and signatures at the end of tonight's game.
Second half moments away here at the Edgar Centre. Sal's NBL basketball action. Rams leading by 13 over their hosts, the Otago Nuggets. Seem to see sort of impetus and energy, if there's just any change. Just looking at the body language though, while we're off air there, it doesn't seem like shoulders slumped, chins down. There's enough talent there, Crystal, in this Nuggets roster to turn things around quickly. There's a lot of faith, I'll tell you what, out there around the Motu in the Nuggets. 50-50 effectively. But it needs to change quickly.
Hey, they're picking a comeback is coming by way of the Nuggets. I'm expecting for them to change things up defensively. We saw them go into a 1-3-1. We see them mix it up. But I want to see how they adapt to this pick and roll defense. The switch and the mismatches that they're giving up just is not working, or was not working in that first half. We'll see if they stick with that or if they look to adapt, evolve, and change something. We'll see if Jeff Sparrow has any other tricks up his sleeve for this Rams team.
Just looking at those starters stats again for the Nuggets, and they did not make pretty reading from an offensive standpoint. None from 2, Tuach, none from 2, Moller, none from 2, Miller-Jose, 3 from 10, Ethan Rusbatch, 1 of 7, Alain Louis. As a team shooting at 25%, it's just not going to get it done at this level. A lot of that is defensive pressure, but at the same time too, they've just got to be more efficient. And some of that comes down to shot selection as well too, Chris. I thought they got into chase mode very early, and just need to go back to what they would have gone through over pre-season. I remember chatting to Jeff Sparrow about a month or so ago. He said one of the great things about their 4 from 4 start was that a lot of bodies arrived in Dunedin early. They very clearly established a way of playing. Well, they need to just fall back on those foundations, because at the moment it just feels like they're forcing things, and often you see when you try too hard, it actually gets worse.
Yeah, when you're in that losing slump, you know, and you're just trying and trying, and, you know, individually you want it so bad, but it's just not clicking as a team. That's what, you know, they might just be at that point in the season, that hump that they need to go through, get through that adversity, and, you know, onwards and upwards. But this Rams squad, championship level every year is what we expect from them. So it's a great opportunity to flip the switch, turn it around in the second half.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, the margin's 13. For those hoop heads out there, they'll know in the last few days, that's nothing. It's Cho. I've almost taken a third step there, Tamanang Cho. Gets away with it perhaps as Brown leaves that one short. They get a stop to start the second half. The Nuggets, and our eyes are fixed here on what they can do with ball in hand. Moller. It's a bit of an opening. Perhaps just should have shot it there. And sometimes there's a requirement to be selfish. Crystal?
Yeah, there is, especially when you're not shooting it great from the 3. Tyson Tatupaese has 2 from deep, and Zach McKenzie also has 1, but none of these starters have hit a 3, so you're right, potentially, you know, go for that higher percentage shot inside. Rusbatch is thinking what you're thinking.
Just that, and that's the start that the Nuggets are after. Stack them up the moments. There's only one way back into this one. You can't just erase an 11-point, 13-point deficit immediately. As Andrew shows his acrobatics there. Great stretch and lean to get that one in, and then the shot attempts. Some free throws coming up here. Strong start, Jack Andrew. I was a little bit surprised actually they didn't go back to him a little bit more. There was a fair bit of switching and mismatches down low. And just quietly went about his work. 6 points, 8 rebounds, of course. Well on track for another double-double, Jack Andrew.
Yeah, well, we see that Nuggets are going to stick with that switching defense, and Jack Andrew will feast and happily take that mismatch down low all day. Louis trying to respond, showing us his size in the paint.
I like it. There's that somewhat selfish basketball there, the more aggression Brett wide open. We've seen some wide open misses from downtown tonight. A little bit uncharacteristic actually on the Rams side to be 4 of 18 from deep. Empty possession there though for Otago.
And that's a risk, leaving Taylor Brett open. He's already hit 2 in this one. Doesn't need much to get going again.
They're playing Brett a little bit off ball here as Cho goes to work using his physicality. And that's tough from Tamanang Cho.
Up to 12 points and can blow by almost anybody on this court right now.
Suach. Oh, heavy contact off ball. Taylor Britt not in a good way. Had some concussion issues last year, Taylor Britt. Let's hope he's okay. We'll have a slight pause here. Quite pick up what happened. It might have been a screen action. See if we can get another look, but Taylor Britt getting back up to his feet now. And we'll check out. And this is probably one position, Crystal, compared to the years in which the Rams had Tama Isaac and or Kaya Isaac, where they really have to switch things up when Taylor Britt isn't on the floor. You see more of Tamanang Cho playing the one guard position. That lovely bounce pass, and on the step ladder comes out Jack Andrew. Lovely finish.
Yeah, pre-game we spoke about Taylor Britt and also Walter Brown facilitating this offense. But Tamanang Cho does a great job of plugging the gaps wherever those two aren't. And how about that pass by Mola inside?
Just leaves it short there. Rusbatch furious with himself. So the ball not quite moving as much with Brett off. As I say that though, good find from Walter Brown. Cho in the corner. And here come the Nuggets playing with the pace. Pass put on the money there from Louis, and you can just see, Christopher, how frustrated he is. Yes, the Nuggets have drawn the foul, but that should just be an easy bucket.
Yeah, and this is where Boy Tuach is great as well, as we look at this pocket pass from Walter Brown, and Jack Andrew once again dominating inside. But Boy Tuach thrives, you know, in transition. That's where he looks great. And in order for him to get there, the Nuggets need to come up with some more stops so they can get out and let him run.
Still yet to have a field goal tonight, Boy Tuach, but officially underway and troubling our scorers from a scoring perspective via the Chemist Warehouse strike.
You know, he's averaging 18 points per game, Boy Tuach. Against the Rams, he had 18, so he should feel confident coming into this matchup.
This is a dude who had 28 points against the Southland Sharks, who are top of the Sal's NBL table. It's just been flashes rather than consistency from Tuach, but we know he can put it together. Speaking of, this is a young man, Jake Holmes, who just gets better with the more opportunities he is given. Here we go from Tuach, using that strength. The light is green. Brown hates the call. No more free throws coming here. I'm no mouth reader, but I believe Walter Brown might have said that's a horrible call. Regan Ashley, he's got thick skin.
I think that's a safe bet. He is not happy about it. No, he felt like he was straight up. If you're the Nuggets, while Taylor Britt is out, this is the time you want to take advantage. You want to get out, you want to push the pace, you want to start to take some control back over this game.
Tuach makes them both. You're bang on there, Crystal. In terms of players of utmost importance to the Rams, very much is the head of the snake, Taylor Britt, the captain, so much experience. 100+ NBL games for the Rams. The lead is 12. It's far from comfortable. That is just exquisite from Cho, from the elbow.
You said, you're talking about comfortable? Let me show you my pull-up. That was a hand in his face. That is a tough hit.
14 points, leading all scorers. He's with us. Here we go. In transition. The numbers there too, Crystal, quickly became a 3-on-2. The extra man is Jake Holmes.
Well, the Rams love to feast, and that was a great pick-off by Withers in the passing lane. Russ Batch once again trying to go inside.
There's Moller. Tyson Batapaase can't get the three-ball to drop. Brown halfway down, but Cho, what do you know? Another offensive rebound for the Rams. Coach Sparrow has seen enough. His blood will be boiling at this point. And just when they cut it back to a dozen, balloons back out to a comfortable margin here for Canterbury.
Yeah, Tamanang Cho doing a great job of controlling and keeping this offense going while Taylor Brett is out. He can score, and he can also find his teammates like Walter Brown, keep them going and follow it up on the rim. He's starting to look really comfortable and like he's taking control.
Yeah, he'll relish this opportunity, Tamanang Cho, to have more responsibility on his shoulders. He's very much a come with me, I'll lead by example type player. 16 points, got the 6 rebounds. No assists yet tonight, but you sense, particularly if Taylor Britt remains out after that heavy blow, you start to see a bit more facilitation as well.
We spoke about Taylor Britt getting on the glass from that guard spot, but Tamanang Cho, he's also top 20 in the league when it comes to rebounding, averaging 8 per game, so that's something that the Nuggets should know.
Ihaka Kate checks in and a quick foul. Full court press.
Louis, the Canadian national player, is starting to get a bit rattled by this full court pressure and these fouls.
Pressure up high on Moller. Tuach. Moller look to go from a 3. This is better from Nuggets. More ball movement. Oh, the wild pass. How have they ended up with that? Tamanang Cho was trying to find the shin of a Nuggets player. Ends up being a bounce pass to Rene Rougeau.
Just like how active the Rams are right now on defense, active hands. Tamanang Cho chasing that ball down. You know, when you're fighting that hard, those bounce passes, those throw-ins, some of those just tend to go your way.
Andrew with Rusbatch in front. Good work there, active hands too from Rusbatch. But then the pass, not on the same page with Tuach. Holmes can't get the kiss off the glass. Just a little bit loose here at the Edgar Centre. Moller from downtown. And it's just not been a night from deep for either team, really, has to be said. Nuggets now 3 of 18.
And Moller still looking to get going scoring-wise. He's been doing a good job on the glass. He's got 10 rebounds with that last one. Cho to Rene.
And Rene Rougeau just leaving that one short. Hasn't really had to get going off the bench tonight, the vet. So 2 points in 12 minutes, as Andrew says. Not here, not tonight. Let's take a second look.
He just said, get that shot absolutely out of here. Sit down and let me stare you and tell you about it.
And then checks out. What's going? Coach Q, come on. The big man have his moment. The margin is 18. Nuggets need something. Brown locked in defensively. Rusbatch late in the clock here. Oh, I was going to say great work from Louis late. How many times have we seen the ball just hang on the rim and not fall?
Yeah, but also, how many times have we also seen the Nuggets players not rebounding Louis, the only one in the paint. Withers doesn't get the call.
There's Tuach now. The intent was there to be aggressive, boy Tuach, but didn't have the handle, and now the Euro. These young fellas, they just play with so much confidence. Deep into the bag, Jake Holmes doesn't get the finish, but lovely footwork and earns a couple of free throws.
He's been great off the bench tonight, playing just under 15 minutes in this one. He's already got 7, make that 8. He's just been aggressive in transition, getting to the rim. He knows he has the length to finish over this Nuggets squad. Both right over them and outside his body, and that time finishes them both off at the Chemist Warehouse.
Now, since the game against the Jets, which was the first of a back-to-back on the road, Jake Holmes with 10 points, 12 points against the Airs, then a 12-point game against the Giants, 9 against the Tuatara, and now 9 here tonight. There is a lot of trust and faith in this young man who we're speaking about. Didn't quite meet the moment there, Jake. I was singing your praises. But all the same, the offensive rebounds just keep coming. Yeah, he is just growing with every opportunity. As Todd Withers, it's almost as if him being so familiar with the Otago Nuggets environment, he's sort of that it's been contagious in terms of the shots for Todd tonight. Just hasn't quite been his night offensively. 1 of 7, but has certainly played his role, and just such a great two-way player, Todd Withers.
And going back to Jake Holmes as well, and when you're reading out those numbers, just the consistency to put that up throughout the season as a young gun. You know, the confidence he must be feeling right now coming into this game.
And it's all now called by the Nuggets. 2:48 in the quarter.
Coach Sparrow wants a word with his Nuggets players. And this is the largest lead of the night. It has ballooned out to 20. Nuggets held to just 35 points. 2:43 to go in the third.
We see now, I want to see what set the Nuggets run coming out of this timeout, what Jeff Sparrow draws up. But he's got Oak Chisholm in the game, who's coming off a big Rapid League performance. You know, he spoke about going deep on the bench, trying to find some hope. But it's just this offensive side, it just gets so stagnant, it seems.
Yeah, I thought they'd kind of come over their rut offensively. I'm just looking back at some of these scores, you know, to score 90 points against the Wellington Saints in a tough loss, 93 points against the Bulls, 89 points against the Sharks. Yes, they were in losses, but they definitely had that rhythm offensively, having scored just 72 previously in their first game against the Tuatara, 72 in their first game against the Canterbury Rams, and it just feels like they're back to there at the moment without being able to find an answer, like a go-to player to just say, I'm going to put the team on my back here. Everything seems difficult. Yes, it's a very well-organised defensive system. They're just suffocating the Nuggets into turnovers here tonight.
Yeah, Zach McKenzie in trouble there. We know he's versatile, but that double upset him, and Walter Brown missing that 3. Once again, if I'm nitpicking, Walter Brown still hasn't connected from deep, 0 from 6.
We were speaking a little bit earlier about perhaps the mid-season wobbles to a touch. I mean, Walter Brown came out so hot, and he's still averaging 20 points a game. 32-point season high against the Sharks in a loss. He probably hasn't had to be quite as locked in offensively. He'll be a little bit annoyed at himself, but still doing some tremendous work at the other end, rebounding, defending. Probably one player, Crystal, without getting too far ahead of ourselves, but Tall Blacks International Basketball World Cup qualifying window coming up. Games Tamaki Makaurau in Auckland against the Philippines and Guam. And I thought he was someone certainly, and I know he's a favourite of the head coach Judd Flavel, would have been there or thereabouts in conversation. Perhaps someone who could count himself unlucky. I know there's a lot of depth at that small forward sort of 3 spot. And with your Ruben Tarangis, you've got Carlin Davidson in the mix, Jordan Ngatai. He's got options. It's a great place to be for head coach Judd Flavel.
Right, a lot of players performing really well. I'm sure it was a hard pick for that Tall Black selection. I'm interested to see what type of game style they're going for this time around, because we have seen them mix it up over the years.
Those games will be broadcast live here on Sky Sport, as well as Cho at the Euro gets the call. One concern for Judd Flavel will be the health of Taylor Britt. Really no need to risk him here, you'd think, Crystal, for the remainder of this contest. But as I mentioned at the time, just when the Rams were on a really big run last year, around this point of the season, they were stringing together the wins. Taylor Britt became unavailable due to the effects of a head knock. So we just, I'm sure particularly all those Rams fans and just fans of good quality basketball will be hoping that is more on the minus side, as Caleb Smiler locked up there. Almost a 8-second violation.
Yeah, definitely don't. Wow. Just when we were, you know, wondering what was going to happen, Walter Brown shows us some volleyball spike on that one. Have another look at it. Little reach, and there is no foul here. That is all ball. Walter Brown playing that defense that you spoke of, and Russ Batch finally with a 3.
Finally, indeed. This is their 4th made 3 on the night, 4 of 19 now from 3-point range. And in the bonus here, fouls on Smiler, so Tamanang Cho goes to the charity stripe. Jeff Sparrow, yeah, that sort of says it all, doesn't it?
But going back to Taylor Britt and, you know, the head knocks, you just don't want to play around with things like that. Still very young, got a long career in front of him. Like you said, they're in a very comfortable position tonight where he might be able to take some of those minutes and save them, bank them, and also give some burn to see how this team goes without him.
You mentioned it might have been in Rapid League when those Tall Blacks games are on. The Sal's NBL will continue. So I was chatting to Taylor Britt earlier in the week, and he was mentioning the Rams do have 2 games scheduled in and around when he'll be in Tall Blacks camp, provided he is healthy. And look, there'll be teams across the NBL who will feel the effects. I think the Phi might have 2, maybe 3 players in Tall Blacks camp. So it becomes even more important, A, to bank wins while you're at full strength, but B, perhaps just keeping that in the back of the mind, knowing, okay, towards the back end of the regular season, we won't have Taylor Britt around. What does it look like with Tamanang Cho at the 1 spot? Do we put a bit more trust in I don't know, Brody Cooper, who we saw perform in Rapid League? So these are the sort of things that will just be lingering in the mind of Coach Quinn Clinton. Nice problems to think about, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. One player, you know, I would hope gets some more burn tonight is Mana Martin. Seen him dominate the Rapid League stage, but really still trying to find his feet and roll, I guess, within this Rams squad in the Sal's NBL. We saw him come on for just a minute 30 earlier in this one. But yeah, got pulled quite quickly. So can someone like him get back in, get some minutes, feel a little bit more comfortable running this 5 out on the floor?
Rene Rougeau makes them both. And Miller Jose, crashing the glass. Perhaps, it's not going to count. Oh dear. That just sort of sums it up, Crystal. Basket interference. I was just about to sing the praises of Boyd Torch because we've been waiting for a Nuggets player to crash the glass. And there he was with the follow, but the old adage, you try hard and it gets worse.
Oh, and these fouls just starting to stack up right now. Caleb Smiley will pick up his second on that one.
Foul on Caleb Smiley, his second foul.
And again, I don't even think Rene Rougeau was getting to that pass. these are the sort of roles that are occurring tonight for the Nuggets. In many ways, you just hope you get them all out of the way tonight. Let's be realistic. This game feels like it's only going to go one way, which I know is a bit of a wild thing to say. We've still got a quarter to go. We're only going on the evidence of what we're seeing. Here we go, another offensive rebound. Rougeau. It's the layup.
I mean, we've spoken a lot about this Nuggets offense not connecting, feeling really isolated. A lot of this pushing the pace, going one-on-one. But it's also this defensive end. They're not connected. You know, the rotations are a little bit late. These mismatches, are they helping each other out as much as possible when these advantages do appear for the Rams?
Here's Cho, late in the third. Ihaka Kate. Well, that's training ground stuff there for the Rams. Tuach. Wild attempts. And Brown isn't worrying about. Oh! Walter Brown! We needed a moment. And Walter Brown steps up from halfway. My goodness. Let's take another look. Let's just confirm he got it off in time. Wowee, Walter Brown, downtown. That was from Timaru. 3/4 time. It's all Rams here at the Edgar Centre.
30 seconds to make as many three-point shots as possible. Whoever has the most after 30 seconds takes a $100. So close. Keep going, Kirsty. Oh, wants to go in. So close. I wouldn't even be able to throw it that far. There we go. There's one. She's off the mark. 5 seconds to go. That's 2. That's 3. And that's 30 seconds. Is it going to go in? 3 to beat, Logan. 3 to beat. Looks like from the yard gym, the Gride Street. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go. Oh. Oh, so close. We've seen a bit of this tonight. Kirsty's looking safe with the voucher. 12 seconds to go, Logan. Oh! 3, 2, Kirsty does it! Well done! Congratulations, Kirsty, winning a $100 Emerson's Brew voucher.
And to start the last quarter, a free throw for the Rams. Technical foul called against the Nuggets coach.
These are live pictures here at the Edgar Centre. Might have had, do we have a foul on that wild three-point attempt or a tech? We'll get some clarification shortly. Nick Bewley here with Crystal Ledger-Walker alongside. We're picking our jaws up off the floor after Walter Brown's 3/4 buzzer beater from beyond half court. Maybe a technical foul on coach Jeff Sparrow. So it just goes from bad to worse for the Nuggets. Down 32. A trip here to the Chemist Warehouse. Stripe for Tyson Tata Paiasi.
I'll tell you one guy that showed up ready and checked in tonight. It was Tyson Tatspasi. It is Tyson Tatspasi. Sorry, should I say. We know he can bring offense. He's, other than Ethan Rusbatch, you know, he's the only one that's really had his eye in this game for the Nuggets so far.
40 points in 3/4 He said in the pre-game, Taylor Britt was keen to hold a team to 80 instead of their benchmark. Well, could be 60 here tonight. This is tough sledding, to say the least, for the Nuggets. And the train is just well and truly off the track at the minute. Crystal, I know we're just talking there in the three-quarter time break about where do the Nuggets turn. Such a good start. Just those are some tough losses, weren't they, to be so close against the Saints, so close against the Bulls, and they have just not shown up tonight. A team that has, though, and those gentlemen in red.
And you know, those tough losses, those close losses, they also take it out of you emotionally. You know, you're so checked in, you're right there, and just not quite getting the success, what they probably felt like they earned and deserved in those games. It's probably taken a toll and come over into this one.
Bardsley out there, he won't stop trying. As Patapaisi, his three is away. These are tough moments, yeah. As a player, you know you play right to the final whistle, especially in front of your home fans. The law of averages say this is only ending one way. And the thing is too, the Nuggets, they're fifth on the ladder. Like, we're not talking about a team that is out of the playoff mix, or yes, they're struggling at the minute, but they've banked those early wins as Ihaka Kate with another corner three.
Yeah, they've been right there. You know, that we know they're capable. We've seen them get some wins. They just need that leader, potentially an Ethan Rusbach, someone just to pull them out and really stand up. Ethan Rusbach up to 17 points with that one. He's the only one in double digits with Tyson Thatspaese and Boy Tuach showing some hustle.
Going deep down the bench here, Coach Sparrow. Oak Chisholm. He's had 3 minutes already here tonight, but for the first time we see the introduction of Patrick Junick Tipene. Miller Jose with the rebound. So the only starter on the floor is Isaac Miller Jose. So it's an all-local unit here for the Nuggets.
Just once again, that isolation play, you know, settling for that last shot. Not much happening. Tyson Thatspaese just forced to put something up.
Here's Cho.
He's just constantly moving. Wherever he is, he's hard to stop. You see it there. He gets that front cut, puts the defender on his back before he even gets the ball. He's rewarded with a trip to the Chemist Warehouse.
Matching his season averages here tonight. 19 points, 7-11 shooting, very efficient, 8 rebounds. So up to 20 points. He's averaging 21 points, 8 rebounds a game, so it's basically bang on. This is just cut and paste stuff here, irrespective of the opponent for Tamanang Cho. And I'm sure Rams coach Quinn Clinton's starting to think too about perhaps just a bit of preservation as much as anything. Lead is 34. Yes, you want to uphold high standards. Yes, you want to improve your points differential. At the same time too, this is game 12 of 20. There's a lot more important basketball to come in there. The little things like that, the little knock to the floor. Is it really necessary to have your star import out there at this point in time?
Yeah, exactly. Just protecting those players. You know what you're going to get for them. We already said it. We've already seen Cho put up his average. Let's get some other guys in to get some burn, because we are at that season. Bodies are tired. You know, it's a physical league down here in Aotearoa, and just, yeah, preserving, getting them on the table, because the game, you know, might get quite ugly.
Next up for the Rams, back at their home gym, Parakiore, Friday night. So 6-day turnaround, they'll host the Tauranga Whai. And then they've got a 9-day break before welcoming the Hawke's Bay Hawks to town. That's probably been the other thing too. The Rams, of their 12 games so far, trying to do the math, see if the math is mathing. I think they've only had 4 home games. So six of their last 8 away at home.
I'm going to leave the math to you because you already saw when we're trying to figure out the ages and things like that. I had to Google it, so I'll let you deal with those numbers, and I trust you.
I'm trusting the schedule here. Whai at home, Hawks at home, Sharks on the road. That'll be a doozy down there in Invercargill. Jets at home, Airs at home, Saints on the road, Tuatara at home, Bulls at home. So the math did math. 6 from 8. 6 of their last 8 will be at Parakiore, which look, I can say from experience, it's not Cal's. However, they've already established themselves. It's a different experience, the light show, the atmosphere. They've doubled the attendance of Cal Stadium at Parakiore. They have had that loss to the Sharks, but other than that, it's been creating that vibe, that atmosphere. People are getting used to that winning basketball feeling at a new complex, and they're going to get plenty of Rams basketball, as mentioned, over the next month or so. Perhaps even more in the postseason.
You Canterburyans cannot get enough of Cal Stadium. And if you're a true OG fan, I mean, I think you're always going to hold a special place in your heart for that place. But it's good to hear, you know, that their new gym is up running and that they can get double the fans in to watch the section.
It's a fantastic facility. I believe the largest aquatic recreational sports facility in the South Island now. I might have mentioned it already in a broadcast, but perhaps for those who didn't catch it a couple of weeks ago, it's got so many facets to it. Tamanang Cho, based in the United States, inland, interstate US, didn't know how to swim, and he looked over from the basketball courts to our Olympic-sized swimming pool and said, why not? I'll have a bit of that. I'll learn how to swim.
Hey, I'm all about learning new skills. You're never too old to stop learning. And what a shot. Speaking of learning, someone that has stepped up this year, Jake Holmes up to 12 points with that 3. But what a Kustra for Tamanang Cho that can come down here to New Zealand, an island, you know, and pick up a new skill to take home with him.
Bang on about learning with Jake Holmes as well. That matches his career high. He's up to 12 points now, 4 of 6 shooting, 20 minutes.
Speaking of some more learning going on, Jane Tipanik just got schooled down low by Renee Rougeau.
Oh, yucca cake, not happy.
Good decision by Tyson Thatspesi. Get a touch in the paint, get something around the rim. He's knocked down 2 threes this game, but just shooting it at 20%. Just tries to keep it going offensively.
So the Rams will momentarily occupy 3rd position on the Sal's NBL ladder. They'll go to a 9-3 record. I say momentarily because our game of the round, the Sunday match, it's also live in free air on Sky Open, is the Auckland Tuatara and the Wellington Saints. Now these are 2 teams, Crystal, that are already showing their championship credentials here this season. They're usually always there at the business end, of course, the Wellington Saints defending champions, but I know we're in the 2nd weekend of June, but this feels like a big game tomorrow, and one I'll certainly be tuning in for.
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't have your alarm set in that circle on your calendar, what are you doing? Because those 2 teams, I was scared when I saw their rosters initially come out and how they started the season, but the pieces they've picked up along the way, you know, Isaac Davidson coming back in the mix, Hiram Harris back in the league. So you see Zach McKenzie knock that 3 down. those are scary pieces to add to those squads.
Yeah, that game at Event Finder Stadium, if you are in Tamaki Makaurau, highly encourage you get on down to that. Perhaps taking Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Could be the last NBA action we see this season. Knicks, of course, 3-1 series lead. What dramatic scenes a couple of days ago at Madison Square Garden. It's yeah, a bevy of basketball action. We do round out round 10 in Palmerston North with the Manawatu Jets and the Tauranga Fire. Again, a couple of teams who are there or thereabouts. That top 6 picture certainly not complete. I know we've still got 8 full rounds to go.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how this Fire squad keeps growing too. You know, we know they have the players to get it done, bringing in the likes of Jordan Ngatai, but falling the other night to the Airs, that would definitely humble them and send them back to the drawing board as we see Journey Tipene try to put some points on the board. Can't connect from 3 on that one. But just some very deep squads all across the league, I think, right now.
Speaking of depth, you know, you look at the deep south and the Southland Sharks still there right at the top. Got another win today. And their depth when they, you know, Max Darling, of course, didn't start the season while he came back from that calf injury. He's now back up and running. And the inclusion of Tobias Cameron, fresh off a season overseas, on top of every other piece they already have. Jonathan Yim, he's got himself a serious ball team, and I'm looking forward to what they can continue to do in this the month of June and as we enter July.
You know, and I think that speaks a lot when you have a head coach that's experienced in this league, that's had a year with his squad. You know, he's used to them. He knows what systems work, what doesn't. He took that off season, recruited some key pieces, and has really looked to take the next step, which would be a championship. And, you know, Jeff Sparrow's still in his first year of coaching, a fairly new squad with the pieces he's brought in, still trying to figure things out. We thought they had a winning recipe to start this season, but just hitting that little bit of adversity and now, you know, trying to find that next step of what also can work.
He's cut a dejected figure, Jeff Sparrow, at the minute. And I know it'll feel like the lowest of lows at the moment, but he's got to take another look back at the Sal's NBL ladder and look at where they are. Yes, they're not at the top of the table where they were a month ago, but their season is not cast to the scrap heap here in the second week of June. Just looking at their schedule come up, they'll get on the road. I know, Crystal, in your basketball experience, sometimes getting on the road, being connected once more, coming together as a group, your leaders, they'll head to the Manawatu Jets. So they're on a quick turnaround from Sunday to Thursday. And then it's 2 games in 3 days for the Nuggets. On the road, they have that Jets-Airs road trip. And who knows, that might just be the catalyst to find something again like we saw in the early stages of the season.
Yeah, you're right, really getting together with your team, getting out, spending those multiple days kind of in each other's pockets and reinvesting in each other could really be a difference maker for the Nuggets as we see Toby Hunt back on the scene. He had a great Rapid League game and finally getting some burn for the first time in this one.
Yeah, that's a name I think we're going to hear a little bit more from over the coming years. Toby Hunt, for those very familiar with the secondary school scene. National secondary school champion Toby Hunt last year with Shirley Boys High, a historic first national secondary school title. And finding a home at the Otago Nuggets. He had a big say in that Shirley campaign. And nice to see. I'm sure he wouldn't have wanted to come on when his team's down 36, but these are the type of opportunities for young players outside of Rapid League, Crystal, where you go, you know what, if I play well here in this last 2 or 3 minutes when, yes, the game is gone, perhaps I might get some meaningful minutes down the stretch. You don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, just that injection, the confidence that you can get from this game going up against the likes of Cho, you know, who is a regular starter for this Rams squad. By no means do the Rams have their second string team out there right now.
It is slightly curious that Tamanang Cho is still out on the court. He won't mind as an individual, but yeah, 27 minutes and counting now. The one concern, the one mark on this night for the Rams will be the health of Taylor Britt. I know you were nitpicking earlier, Crystal, around the three-point shooting. I'm sure when they go back over the film.
Oh, Walter Brown is going to kick me for that one, especially after he hit that almost three-quarter court shot. He's like...
That's the only three he made.
Right, he said, you're going to nitpick what?
But, yeah, we wait now to see the health report out of the Canterbury Rams going forward. 6-day turnaround before they face the Fi. McKenzie, strong finish. And perhaps why that is, that Coach Clinton is just saying, I just want you who's still out there, Tamanang, to just get a bit more used to these reps at the point guard position.
Yeah, that's a great point. And, you know, against someone other than Taylor Britt, who you're going in and practice, who knows our plays, who knows the cheats, who knows your game, why don't we go out here, get you familiar with some other defense and with some other guys on the floor. The Nuggets really trying to pick off anything they can. And that's also something you like to see from your bench, coming in with this intensity, you know, still being locked in.
Kudos to the faithful at the Edgar Centre in Dunedin. They've largely hung around while their team has been put well and truly in the hurt locker tonight. And that's what being a fan is all about. Win, loss, showing up in the good and the bad makes the good all the more worth it. No, you can't do that. I know the FIFA World Cup is on, Patrick, but you cannot kick the ball.
I play multiple sports. Let's see what the Rams can drop on this baseline on bounds. They go over top. Mana Martin. You just hear the Nuggets. That mismatch down low, yelling out, how long in the paint for Rene Rougeau.
Well, that was rebound number 50 there for the Rams. I know this game's been gone for quite some time, but that's where it started, Crystal, is what we highlighted in the pre-game. It is what happened when these two sides last met in Christchurch. And it remains a real area of strength for the Rams, but a significant area of concern as Tamanang Cho, his second three-pointer on the evening.
Okay.
I'm going to call it commentators MVP. You happy with that?
I'm pretty happy with that, and I think you called it way back when you said, do not poke that bear. I have seen him get up and see what he can do. If you're tuned in late, earlier in this one, he got a technical, but that did not sway the way he was playing this game by any means.
Nice finish there from Journey Tipanek. As Tamanang Cho just trudges over the half court. The shot clock remains on, and he'll just dribble this one out. He's perhaps saying, can I give it to one of the young fellas here? Oh, you want me to keep playing? Okay, that's right. Every basket counts. Mana Martin, there you go. And Mana Martin with a basket. His first of the evening. Oh, of course, a BNZ player timeout with 1.8 remaining. And Mackenzie, Chisholm, Journey Tipanek, Fata Payase. Something cooked up here late. Toby Hunt on the floor as well for the Nuggets. It just has not been their nights. Yeah, Tamanang Cho, it has been his night. 24 points, 9 rebounds. Gonna have to get this one off here, McKenzie. It's away, and that'll do it from Dunedin, where the Canterbury Rams respond after a loss to the Tuatara last Wednesday in a big way. 93 is impressive, but it's the 58 holding the Otago Nuggets to just 58 points. A defensive clinic. Some great work offensively. Crystal, led by that man center of your screen. Our commentators pick for the MVP, Tamanang Cho.
He was everywhere tonight. Quick, twitchy, getting on the rim, blowing by players, knocking it down from 3, and he was just short of a double-double. 24 points, 9 rebounds, 2 of those offensive. But it's just what he was able to bring and step up, the way he stepped up in Taylor Britt's absence, stepping into that point guard role, running the things on that end, and then also getting out defensively and disrupting on that side of the ball as well. Absolutely deserving of the MVP, I think, tonight.
Yeah, for me, it was the adjustment, the role adjustment that probably impressed me most. Yes, he was aggressive and gave everything that we've seen so far this season, matching those season averages, but the way in which the Rams just kept the foot on the accelerator after the injury-forced absence of Taylor Britt. As we take a look at the Chemist Warehouse key stats, Cho leading the way with 24. A new season high for Rene Rougeau as well, just quietly went about his work, the veteran. But you look at all this double-digit scoring, and it sort of continues over here through in the rebounding. A double-double for Jack Andrew. They absolutely dominated from a rebounding standpoint. 52-37, the tail of the tape on the glass.
How about
Walter
that?
Brown, okay. That might be career high assists as well as the highlight moment.
Yeah, Walter Brown, another one that stepped up in Taylor Britt's absence. Taylor Britt, though, tonight really set the tone the way he was playing, knocking it down from 3. But just speaks to your depth when you can have your captain, your point guard, go out and the rest of your team can step up. Todd Withers, another one, we expected him to have a big game. If we're going to give the Nuggets credit for anything, it's holding him down. He finished tonight with 4 points.
More steals than points.
Right.
That's a Todd Withers sort of night.
But yeah, this Nuggets team, you know, they put up a fight. They looked like they responded a few times, but in the end, the Rams just too deep, made really key adjustments, and the Nuggets just couldn't get that second chance to respond over and over again. As we have a look at these upcoming fixtures, you circled that game at the top. We see there the Tuatara versus the Saints. Make sure you tune in for that one, hopefully right after the NBA Finals, but a lot more great games coming our way.
Yeah, Jets Fire should be good to Fly Palmy Arena. And then, as you can see there, Jets, very quick turnaround into the Giants. It's an interesting juncture of the season where momentum is going to be important, stacking the wins and keeping in that playoff picture. Work to do for the Nuggets, but the Rams back on track. That'll do us, folks, from the Edgar Centre in Dunedin. My thanks to you, Crystal Ledger-Walker, and our entire production crew. Nick Bewley signing off. Thanks for your company here on Sky Sport.